Former DOJ official Hans von Spakovsky says Bill Barr made the only ethical choice. He joins us now. Thank you so much, Hans, for coming on. You know, Democrats say that this guy lied and that he pleaded guilty. They say this is an abomination. Why do you disagree?
Well, it's very clear from the recent disclosures forced by Jeff Jensen, the U.S. attorney tasked with investigating this, that the FBI had no legitimate basis of any kind to even be investigating Michael Flynn over the perfectly legal phone call he had with the Russian ambassador. In fact, that phone call was part of his duties as the incoming national security advisor. But second, it's also very clear that there was prosecutorial misconduct. There's a U.S. Supreme Court case called Brady that mandates prosecutors have to turn over exculpatory evidence to the defense, and it's very clear that the DOJ prosecutors here did not do that. So I really don't see how any professional who wants to act in an ethical manner could do anything other than dismiss the case.
Well, here's a clip of the Democrats' letter asking for the DOJ investigation, and this reads, quote, "Any reasonable American witnessing the actions of the last several weeks must seriously question whether the Department of Justice can any longer claim its proud tradition of professionalism and independence from political influence." Then you have Senator Cory Booker tweeting that this needs to be investigated. You have Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris renewing their calls for AG Barr to resign after the Flynn decision. What do you say to all these people here who obviously see it differently than you do?
Well, those are all, look, those are political arguments. They have nothing to do with ethics and the law. There simply is no question that the DOJ prosecutors failed to comply with the Brady case. I mean, like I said, all the recent disclosures, which were not disclosed to the defense, contained all kinds of exculpatory information. Look, that includes the fact that there was a discussion amongst the top leadership, including James Comey, about their objective in going and interviewing Flynn, which included getting him fired. The FBI is a law enforcement agency. They're only supposed to investigate violations of federal law. They are not supposed to interfere in politics by trying to get somebody fired. This was not a legitimate investigation. It clearly was not a legitimate prosecution.
The New York Times editorial board calls this a perversion of justice. We can pull it up here. Quote from the article: "The nation's founders did not wage a war for independence from a tyrant who considered himself to embody the law so that the republic would tolerate another executive who considers himself above the law." Your reaction?
Well, I think they are ignoring the fact that this was not Donald Trump's decision. It's very clear that Jeff Jensen, the U.S. attorney who was tasked with investigating this, must have recommended to the Attorney General the dismissal of this case. And again, as a former DOJ employee and lawyer, I don't see that he had any other choice given all of the misconduct in this case, which, by the way, apparently included the original FBI agents who interviewed Flynn, saying that they did not believe that he had lied, and then DOJ prosecutors basically extorting a guilty plea out of Flynn by threatening to prosecute his son and basically bankrupting him in this prosecution.
Hans, let's take a listen to what Trey Gowdy has to say. This is on Sunday Morning Features in regards to the question of whether or not the judge here can say no. Listen to this.
Michael Flynn, let me say this about the judge. You know, the judge can sit there and not know whether or not he's going to grant that motion to dismiss. Good luck prosecuting the case. So if the DOJ is not moving forward on Michael Flynn, I don't think the judge is going to do it himself. Hans,
what do you say?
Well, the judge could try to raise concerns about this, but I think Trey Gowdy is right. It's very tough to prosecute a case when the prosecutor is not there. So really, given all of the evidence that's been disclosed recently, I think the only smart choice, the only real choice the judge can make is to dismiss the case, which looks like from the very beginning was a politically motivated persecution of Michael Flynn.
Logan Act. All right. Thank you so much, Hans. We appreciate it.
Thank you.